Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for the ACT. We have been solving ACT math problems out of this book here, the ACT Prep Guide, the official ACT Prep Guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problems that we're about to solve are the ones that you will find on page number 166. Please turn to it. Page number 166, and today is our lesson number 4. The very first problem on page 166, we are told that x cubed, problem number 10 that is, we are told that x cubed equals 64. Well, if x cubed equals 64, that of course implies that x cubed must be, x64 is simply 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. So if x cubed is 64, that implies that x must be 4. There you go. And now they're asking us to find the value of the quantity that they give us, which is x squared plus square root of x. X squared plus the square root of x is what they're looking for. X we just found out is 4. So x squared is going to be 4 squared plus the square root of 4. And 4 squared is 16. The square root of 4 is 2. And the final answer is 18. There we go. The answer is 18, which is answer choice H. Let's go on then. Next one. Number 11. Number 11. In number 11, we are asked to find the volume of a sphere. We are asked to find the volume of a sphere, which we are told equals 4/3 pi r cubed. And radius we are told is 1 1/4 inch. Okay, 1 1/4 inch. Now listen carefully. The point here is not whether or not you can solve a problem. That is not the point here. When people miss the main point in the standardized exam. Of course, it's a very simple, straightforward question. The point is, can you do it in an efficient manner? Can you do it so that it does not take you forever and ever? If it takes you 2-3 minutes to solve a problem, it's worthless. You have to do it in an efficient manner. If you end up taking an inordinate amount of time, then that's not going to get you anywhere. The first thing you need to do here, don't leave it like this. If you leave it like this, and if you turn this into a, this is what most students end up doing. They end up writing this as 1.25, and they put it in there, and they try to figure out the cube of 1.25. You will end up making your life miserable. Do you understand? Leave it. So first thing you need to do is convert this into fraction. 1 1/4 is same as 1 is same as 4 quarters. That's what 1 is. 1 equals 4 quarters plus 1/4. Plus a 1/4 is 5 quarters. Of course, we know that's nothing earth-shattering. 1 1/4 is 5 quarters. We already know that. That's the value we're going to put it in there. Don't do it in decimal. Do you understand? So the volume equals, volume we told we equals 4/3 times pi times r cube, which is 5 times 4, 5 over 4 rather, cube. 5 over 4 cubed, which we're going to write as 5 over 4, which we're going to write that as 5 over 4 times 5 over 4 times 5 over 4. Now watch what happens. Okay, we have to read the question properly. It says we have to read the questions properly because it says what is the volume to the nearest cubic inch. The reason they use the word nearest, whenever you see the word nearest or approximate or about, that's their way of saying, it's a coded language. When they say what is the approximate value or what's the nearest possible value, that's their coded way of saying, if you try to figure out the precise value, you will end up making your life miserable. So we have to approximate. We approximate everywhere. But particularly something like this, especially in a question like this, where they themselves tell you that you have to approximate. You cannot figure out the exact value. It will take too long. It will take too long to figure out the precise value. Okay, so let's begin our process. Enough of the talk. So what happens? Now I see a 4 here, I see a 4 here, that goes out. And what do we end up with here? 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 3. How much is 16 times 3? I don't know. How the hell do I know what 16 times 3 is? I don't go around memorizing 16 table. But I do know 15 threes. 15 times 3 I do know. 15 times 3 is 45. That's very simple. 3 15s are 45. So if 15 times 3 is 45, then 15 times 16, if 15 times 3 is 45, then 16 times 3 must be 48. 48. And then here we have 5 times 5, which is 25, and 25 times 5. 25 times 5, so 25 times 4 is 100, so 25 times 5 must be 125. Okay, stay with me in the story, and we mustn't forget the pi. Stay with me in the story because the plot is about to thicken. Do you understand? The plot is about to thicken. Now this is where the approximation is going to come in. This is where the science ends, the math ends, because math is very precise. This is where the math ends and the element of art comes into it. Do you understand? You have to learn how to approximate in a smart way. So here's what we're going to do. 125 over 48. 125 over 48. The very first thing we're going to do here, forget about the pi for the time being. We're going to pretend that this is approximately equal to 125 over 50. Over 50. You with me so far? Very good. Now, as you can see, this is the multiple of 25, and this is the multiple of 25. So divide the top and bottom by 25. How many 25 in 125? We just found out there are 5 25 in 125. So cross it out, it becomes 5, and this becomes 2. So what we are left with is 5 over 2. This 125 over 48, 125 over 48 is approximately 5 over 2. Are you with me still? Very good. Let's put it in here. So this becomes, so this becomes 5 over 2 times pi. And how much is pi? And for Christ's sake, don't tell me 3.14. If I ask you this at this point in the story, if the story is going this way, and at this stage in the act, if somebody asks you how much is pi, and you proudly tell them it's 3.14, you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole bloody point. 3.14 is not going to get you anywhere. Do you understand? How much is pi in fraction? Do you know? What's the value of pi approximately in fraction? Did anybody ever tell you that? Pi, it's approximately, where can we put it? We have to put it someplace prominent. Pi is approximately 22 over 7. Make a note of it. If you didn't know it, make a note of it. Pi is approximately 22 over 7. We're going to put it in here. 22 over 7. Now what's the first thing you notice? I see a 2 here, I see a 22. Let's divide top and bottom by 2. It becomes 11. Okay, are you still with me? 5 times 11 is 55. 55 over 7. How many 7s in a 55? Well, 55 is not the exact multiple of 7, but 56 is. How do I know that? Because I know my square. 7 squared is 49. 7 squared is 49. If you add one more 7 to 49, 49 plus 7, well 49 plus 1 is 50, and then another 6 will be 56. So this is 55 over 7. Again, I'm going to pretend that this is 56 over 7. In other words, this quantity is about 8 times. That's it. It's approximately 8. It's approximately 8. Because again, we're pretending that 55 over 7 is actually 56 over 7. That's it. We're done. The answer is 8. I shouldn't say the answer is 8. Answer is approximately 8. And that's it. If you look at the answer choices, they're going to be too far apart. You're looking for an answer of 8. It's not 7, it is 8. Why is it not 7? Why is it not 7? Why is it 8? Well, because this is 55. 55 is way too close to 56. This is not close to 49. The scale is from here. This is 49. This is 56. This is 7 times 7. This is 8 times 7. Where does 55 fall in this scale? Where does 55 fall in this scale? 55 falls very close to this end. Had it been 50 instead of 56, instead of 55, had it been 50, then we would have said 50 over 7 is approximately 7. 55 over 7 is approximately 8. The answer is very close to 8, and therefore that's the answer we picked. The answer is C. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Number 12. Number 12. Just give me 1 second. Number 12. In number 12 we have 8 red marble, we are told, 6 blue one, and 6 white one. And the question is, what are the odds of picking? What are the odds of picking a marble that is not white? Read carefully. They are not looking for the odds of picking a white marble at random. They're asking us, if we were to pick one marble at random, what are the odds that it's not going to be white? Do you understand? And of course I do not write everything on the black, but that's what it is. We are picking one at random, obviously. We're not going to look in the back. We're going to pick one at random, and the question is, if I were to pick one at random, what are the odds that it is not white? Let's find out, shall we? Not white. How do we write this thing in the language of mathematics? This is how we write it. Probability of not white. Probability of picking something that is, let's put the word not in capital so we can see it. The probability of picking something that is not white is same as the probability of picking something that is either red or blue. That's it, because those are the only 3 colors we have. So if you're going to pick something that is not white, then it's going to be either red or a blue one. That's it. And what are the odds of picking a marble at random that's going to be either red or a blue? Well, that's pretty straightforward. How many red do we have? We have 8 red. How many blue do we have? We have 6 blues. And how many altogether? Well, let's find out. We never did. Let's find out how many altogether. 6 plus 6 is 12, and 12 plus 8 is 20. So we have 20 altogether. 20 altogether, so it's 14 out of 20. 14 out of 20 is 14 out of 20 is same as 7 out of 10, which is same as 70%. 70%, if the answer choice is expressed in percentages, it will be 70%, or if they are expressed in decimal, it will be 0.7. Well, actually, it's neither. They stop right here. The answer choice is expressed in fractions, so it's 7/10, that's all. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Number 13. Number 13. In number 13, we are dealing with matrices, and we are told that we have number of students participating in a certain sport. So here is the number of students, and here is our matrix. We have tennis, which is 40. We have soccer, which we are told is 60. We have CC. I don't know what CC stands for. I wrote down CC in my notes here. Cross country, which is 80, and then we have football, which we are told is 80. So those are the number of students that are participating in each of those sports. And here are the odds of winning an award. Odds of winning an award, which we are told is 0.3, 0.4, 0.2, and 0.5. And again, these are the same sports. Table tennis is this. First one is table tennis. Then we have soccer. Then we have cross country, and then we have football. That's it. And how do we find the product of two matrices? It's very simple. It's row times column. Row times column. Row times column. Now, when I was little, I do not know if you will understand it, because I do not know if it still exists or not. It probably does. It perhaps does. There used to be a soda. There used to be a drink called RC Cola. RC Cola. That's the mnemonic that we use to remember, that is row times column. RC, you see. So that's what it is, row times column. So we do 40 times 0.3, 40 times 0.3 plus 60 times 0.4, 60 times 0.4 plus 80 times 0.2 plus 80 times 0.5. Now, do you know what a mnemonic is? What's a mnemonic? M is silent, obviously. M-N-E-M-O-N-I-C, mnemonic. Mnemonic is a memory device. Mnemonic is a memory device. It's something that you make up to remember something. It helps you remember something. It's called mnemonic. Of course, you know what it means. It's a very simple word for a native speaker, that is. And you being a native speaker, it's not a big deal. It is a big freaking deal for somebody like me whose first language happens to be not English. Yes, I don't want to shock you, but that's what it is. Yes, it must be very basic because we never covered the word in our vocabulary lessons. I'm looking at the list of vocabulary words here under M, and it's not there, which means we never covered it. We never covered it because it's a very simple word, mnemonic. It's a memory device. So that's it. That's the memory device I use. RC cola is what I think of. You may have a different mnemonic device, or you may not even need the mnemonic. You just probably know it. But I like to use it. What are we going to do with it? Again, do not waste your time. Do not waste your time leaving everything in decimal and figuring it out everything in decimal. It takes forever. Convert this thing into fraction. It will go faster. So 40 times 0.3, which is same as 3 over 10, plus 60 times 0.4, which is 4 over 10, plus 80 times 0.2, which is 2 over 10, plus 80 times 0.5, half of 80 is just 40. I'm not going to worry about it. Or if you like, you could actually do it, but it's not necessary. It's a waste of time. Half is just half. 0.5 is half, and half of 80 is 40, of course. So that's it. We're done. So here are the quantities, and when they are in fraction, it goes faster. It goes faster because if you divide top and bottom by 10, this 0 knocks out, and we end up with 4 times 3, which is 12. Plus, then again, divide top and bottom by 10. This 0 is going to knock out with this 0, and it's 6 times 4 is 24. Plus, similarly here, 4 times 3 was 12. This 0 is going to knock out with that one. It's 8 times 2 is 16. And this, of course, is 40. That's it, we're done. We just have to add up the numbers, that's all. So let's do it, shall we? 12 plus 24 is 36. How do I know 12 plus 24 is 36? Well, it's very simple, actually. Also because 12 times 3 is 36. 36 plus 16 plus 40. I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to actually do it here. 36 plus 16 plus 40 plus 40. And we get 6 plus 6 is 12, 2, carry 1. And we end up with, here we have a 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 1 is 9. Make sure you don't end up making some careless mistake. Do you understand? The answer is 92. The answer is 92. The letter D. Letter D. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.